Hello everybody, happy Monday. Max here with your fix of gaming news. Coming up, following a major backlash from the Helldivers 2 community, Sony has reversed its decision to require PC players to link a PSN account. Any Beat Saber fans still playing on their MetaQuest 1s may want to look into upgrading, and we finally get our first look at Homelander in-game as a guest fighter in Mortal Kombat 1, and would you believe it? He's punching people. Let's get into it. Hell hath no fury like a Helldiver scorned, or at least that seems to be the lesson that Sony learned this weekend following last week's news that a linked PSN account would soon be mandatory to play Helldivers 2 on PC, and the publisher has already reversed that decision. The official statement posted on the PlayStation Twitter account last night reads, quote, "Helldivers fans, we've heard your feedback on the Helldivers 2 account linking update. The May 6th update, which would have required Steam and PlayStation Network account linking for new players and for current players beginning May 30th, will not be moving forward. We're still learning what is best for PC players, and your feedback has been invaluable. Thanks again for your continued support of Helldivers 2, and we'll keep you updated on future plans." What could have compelled the publisher to change its mind? Well, it could have had something to do with the new policy resulting in Helldivers 2 no longer being available for purchase in 177 different territories where PlayStation Network is unavailable for anybody, or maybe it was the 215,000 negative Steam reviews that piled up following Sony's initial announcement, or maybe some combination thereof. Arrowhead Studio CEO and Helldivers 2 creative director Johan Pilestedt, who made it clear last week this matter was Sony's decision, posted on Twitter as well, stating, quote, "Firstly, I am impressed by the willpower of the Helldivers 2 community and your ability to collaborate. Secondly, I want to thank our partners and friends at PlayStation for quickly and effectively making the decision to leave PSN linking optional. We together want to set a new standard for what a live game is and how developers and community can support each other to create the best game experiences." Pilestedt also took some of the blame for the situation, responding to a tweet calling him out, saying, quote, "I am not blameless in all of this. It was my decision to disable account linking at launch so that players could play the game. I did not ensure players were aware of the requirement, and we didn't talk about it enough. We knew for about 6 months before launch that it would be mandatory for online PlayStation titles." Yeah, Arrowhead could have definitely communicated this situation better, though that likely would have elicited the same response, just a whole lot sooner. Had this PSN requirement been in place at launch, one can't help but wonder if Helldivers 2 would have been anywhere near as successful. Conversely, implementing it after the game has established an active player base, that seems a little bit like bait and switch. Seeing the Helldivers 2 community mobilize against a common enemy isn't exactly news. We've seen millions of players do their part to defend Super Earth from Terminids and automatons as part of the in-game meta-narrative, so if anything, Sony's policy just gave players a new common enemy. It just wasn't in-game. Even with Sony's decision reversed, the negative reviews will probably haunt Arrowhead for a while, which is a bummer. On the bright side, some players have taken it upon themselves to leave passive-aggressively positive reviews on Arrowhead's other games like Magicka and Helldivers 1, emphasizing how great these games are for not requiring a PSN account. It'll be interesting to see how this debacle affects Sony's future PC releases. I'm hoping that all guilty parties learned a valuable lesson, but we'll have to wait and see. This shouldn't come as too much of a surprise for anybody, but it was announced that the VR rhythm game Beat Saber will no longer be getting updates on the first generation MetaQuest starting in November. The news comes by way of an FAQ posted on the game's official site, where it's explained that Quest 1 owners will still be able to play Beat Saber all they want, but multiplayer and leaderboard functionality, quote, might be phased out in the future. Starting November 2nd of this year, the studio will stop releasing updates or offering customer support for anybody playing on MetaQuest 1. So it could be worse, and this, again, shouldn't be too much of a surprise. The MetaQuest 3 has been on the market since October, and this first generation will be 5 years old this month. At some point, you gotta leave the old hardware behind. We've known for ages that Homelander, the villainous superhero from The Boys, would be joining the Mortal Kombat 1 roster, and we finally get a look at him in action thanks to a new teaser. Tony Starr, who plays Homelander on the Prime Video series, won't be providing his voice for the game, but the likeness is definitely there, along with the love of a nice, tall, cold glass of milk, and, burning people's heads off with heat vision and punching people into orbit. We'll have to wait and see what other tricks he has up his sleeves and how they compare to the previous guest fighters from other hit explicit superhero streaming shows, Omni-Man and Peacemaker. I'm all for gratuitous everything, but I'm really hoping that Homelander doesn't get a fatality inspired by his final scene in Season 2. You probably know what I'm talking about. Let's just say, teabagging's bad enough. There's no release date for Homelander in Mortal Kombat yet, but Season 4 of The Boys will hit Prime Video on June 13th, and a new trailer just dropped, so go check that out if you haven't yet. That is your fix for Monday, May 6th, 2024. We'll be back tomorrow with more gaming news, but in the meantime, you can stay up to date by following IGN wherever you like to watch. You probably knew that, but I just thought I'd remind you. I'll see you later, everybody. Happy Monday.